Hi there, we're back in Master O's kitchen. Now look, what we're preparing now is a morning tea snack that it's got a few choices in it, but it's yummy. Remember, food's got to be interesting, it's got to be fun, it's got to be yummy, it's got to be nice to have, and then you can stick to a nice eating program. Now this is for morning tea. Now what I've got a couple of choices here. I've got some cracker biscuits if you want a lighter morning tea. Now if you're not doing a good busy work day and you're not really burning the calories, well, you don't want to be having a really big morning tea. You might have had your oats for breakfast. You want to have a relatively light morning tea, but something's going to carry you through. Remember, we're eating now 3 hours after we've had breakfast. That 3-hour rule is very, very important in making sure that your metabolic rate is just ticking along nicely during the day. Now, what I've got here is I've also got a piece of whole grain bread that's just been lightly toasted. And what I've done is I've just smeared some almond spread. This is good stuff. It's really nice, nutty kind of flavour. I put that onto the piece of bread. Now, I've actually had a big workout today, and I've got lots of working out to do this afternoon, so I'm going to really be burning some calories. So I'm putting plenty of almond spread on those 2 bits, and I'm having a fair size morning tea. Now, if you're not very busy, you might just go for one of these cracker biscuits and put a nice smear of that over the top. Doesn't matter if they break, we can just join them together and pop them on the plate there. Now what I'm going to do is put on top of that is I'm going to put a nice smear of cottage cheese, low-fat cottage cheese. Put that across the top. This gives me a nice cheesy sort of flavour. And do you remember that if things taste like they've got some fat in them, or it's the fat in things that actually makes things taste good. So what we don't want is we don't want the saturated fats, but we want things like your almond butter or your cottage cheese spread that's got that kind of a fatty taste to it, but it actually doesn't have the saturated fat in it. Now on the top I've got some beautiful pieces of smoked salmon, and I'm just going to lay them across the top and also onto the cracker biscuits as a light snack. And this salmon is fantastic. It's got the great omega oils, it tastes beautiful, it's really nice. You can just get it from your local supermarket. Of course, if you want to cook some fresh pieces of salmon, that's a beautiful lunch treat, and we'll do that one on another day. Now, look, just on the top of here, I've got some, out of my veggie garden, I've got some, just the tail end of some spring onions, so I'm just going to chop that up and just sprinkle that over the top of my morning tea there. And I'm going to put a couple onto these crackers here. Now, I like the old cucumber, so you can put anything green on the top of this you like, but I'm just going to put some cucumbers across the top, and there's my cucumbers. I like to go for some capsicum because it gives a really nice flavour, so I'm going to put some quick slices of capsicum over the top of that, lay them across. Remember, our good mix of fruit and veggies is what we need on every meal. We're trying to get some fruit and some vegetables into every single meal that we have. Now look, that hasn't taken long. I like to put a bit of lettuce in though, if you want a bit more green stuff in there. And we can sprinkle that over the top there, just slide it onto the sandwich and put a few little pieces there. Now what I'm going to do is put some pepper across the top. And I like pepper. Pepper's great. Now what you can also do, look, I've got some grapes left over from breakfast here from my oats. You can pop a few grapes onto the plate if you like, and include them into your meal, and that gives you a nice little sweet taste, so you don't go for the chocolate or the counter soft drink after your morning tea. And that's going to really carry you through beautifully right through until lunchtime. Now remember, if you're getting up in the morning at about let's say if you're getting up in the morning and having breakfast at 7, you need to have morning tea at 10. Now this is an absolutely great taste sensation. Let's just have a little try. That almond spread, you can taste that through the bottom. You can taste the next layer of the cottage cheese. I absolutely love salmon, but you can use tuna or whatever you want. And it's so crispy. Those spring onions are coming through. The beautiful taste of that capsicum and the crispiness of the cucumber. I highly recommend it. You guys, have a good day. And don't forget, I've got more stuff happening in Mr. O's kitchen soon. Bye for now.